In this part, I'm introducing LCNRV, lower of cost or net realizable value. In the prior chapter we learned, we generally use historical cost to value inventories. As an asset, inventory value is determined by the future benefits. So what's the future benefits of inventory? Basically, it can be sold to generate revenue, or it can be used as a material in the production to create product and finally generate revenue. And we know some inventory could lose value when time lapses, especially for the grocery stores, fresh vegetables and fruits, and also electronics. These products or inventory will subject to the decrease in their future benefits. That's why grocery stores provide the discount before their inventory become obsolete. An electronics device will have the price cut when the newer model come out. So the future benefits decrease. That means historical costs may not be relevant. So we are going to use a more relevant information to value the potential impairment in the inventory. The first term I introduce is net realizable value. Net realizable value is the estimate selling price subtract the predictable cost of completion, disposal, and transportation. For example, this firm has unfinished inventory, cost $950, sales value is $1,000. To complete this inventory, it needs to spend $50 more, and the selling cost is $200. So the net realizable value is the estimated selling price subtract all the costs to have this inventory sold. This includes $50 completion cost and $200 selling costs. So the net realizable value is $750. So the NRV is estimate price subtract costs of completion, disposal, and transportation. These costs to realize the value of inventory. That's why we called it net realizable value. The lower of costs or NRV is to compare the book value, which is $950, with the NRV. And we're going to apply the lower number as a new book value of the inventory. In this case, because $950 book value is greater than NRV, that means the book value of the inventory was overstated. So we're going to use $750 to replace $950 as a newer book value of inventory. Because from $950 to $750, there will be a $200 decrease in the book value of inventory. So we recognize a loss due to decline in the inventory to NRV. At the same time, we write down the book value of inventory by credit inventory $200. We will have example later. For some companies, if they have multiple components of their inventory, we can apply LCNRV for each layers of inventory. For example, there are 5 categories of inventory for this firm, and we have the book value. We also have NRV. Basically, we just compare the cost of each item to its NRV. So the first one is spinach. Cost is less than the NRV, so we keep using the lower value. Carrot, 100 book value is equal to the NRV, so it doesn't matter which one we use because they are same. Cut beans, the book value is greater than the NRV, so we're going to use the lower one. Peas, book value 90, NRV 72, so we use 72. Mixed vegetables, book value 95 is greater than NRV, so again we use NRV. We sum all of them, so that's a new book value of this inventory. This is another application of LCNRV. We can apply to individual item. We can also apply to major categories or we can just apply the total inventory. For each item, this is same as what I did in the last slide, 384. Just compare the cost and NRV for each item. The next is major categories. And there are two categories. One is frozen, the other is canned. The book value of the frozen is 230, NRV is 260. So the book value is lower, so we apply the book value. For the canned, the book value of canned is 185, NRV is 164. The book value is greater, so we apply the NRV. This is new book value of all the inventories. Or we can just simply compare the total of the book value with the total NRV. So the book value is less, so we keep using the book value. The next is the journal entries when we write down the value of the inventory. There are two different methods. One is loss method, the other is cost of goods sold method. Their difference is what account we recognize the loss or the expense. Both credit inventory, 12 will be written down from the inventory book value. So that's the amount inventory will be written down in the balance sheet. At the same time, we can recognize loss or directly recognize cost of goods sold. Depends on what method you use. Keep in mind, these two methods both credit inventory accounts directly. Instead of write down the value of inventory directly, we can set a control account of inventory, which is called allowance to reduce inventory to NRV. Rather than credit inventory directly, we can credit the control account of inventory, allowance to reduce inventory to NRV. So the inventory accounts will be reported this way. The inventory balance at historical cost and the amount we reduced. So that's the balance after the reduction. The advantage of the control account is we keep the original historical cost of inventory and show how much it was written down and net book value. In the balance sheet, depends on what methods you use. The presentation of the two methods are different. For loss method in the balance sheet, we report two accounts, inventory at cost and the control accounts. The next one just one number, which is after the written down, the net book value of inventory. So the difference is this one provides more information. Because loss and the cost of goods sold are reported as two different expense accounts in the income statement, so it depends on what methods you use. The loss or the costs will be reported into different accounts. We do report losses on inventory as other operating expenses or losses. Cost of goods sold methods, we recorded the $12,000 deduction as part of total cost of goods sold. The bottom line are same. The difference is the classifications of this loss and expenses.